everyone, my name is Patience, and welcome to this week's segment of Quick Facts with Birguid. We're going to be talking about the Africa upstream oil and gas industry, particularly how the sector has evolved over the past 10 to 20 years. Africa's oil and gas industry has evolved quite significantly over the past 20 years to become more competitive and more diverse. What you find is that initially the industry was dominated by international oil companies, or a handful rather of those companies, and they owned all of the assets and they obviously provided a significant amount of the investment required within the sector. Examples of these companies include BP, Shell, and ExxonMobil. But what you find is that in recent years, these companies have not been investing in new opportunities, but are instead divesting from a lot of their assets, creating more opportunity for local companies to take up these opportunities and get involved in oil exploration and production. Over the past 20 years, you'll also find that investment in Africa's oil and gas industry increased quite significantly. It went up from about $10 billion in 2010 to about $40 billion per year in 2021. And this trend is expected to continue, with the industry averaging investment of between 20 and 30 billion per annum over the next 10 years. A lot of questions arise with regards to the feasibility of local companies engaging in the exploration of gas in Africa, and you find that it is quite feasible. However, the challenges that may be incurred within the sector are the high costs related to the actual exploration activities. So that's one thing that could be a deterrent. The other thing is the environmental risks involved, particularly with regards to oil spills and putting contingencies in place with regards to the oil and gas exploration activities. Other challenges include regulatory uncertainty as governments shift towards becoming greener, cleaner, and adhering to the tenets that were set in Paris on, what an effective or climate effective environment looks like. So regulatory uncertainty with regards to that could also be a bit of a pushback in terms of continued oil and gas exploration and production across the continent. One other challenge that comes to mind is the market becoming extremely competitive, so high competition not only from local companies but also from international companies based off of the recent discoveries that have been made from successful oil and gas exploration activities. Looking to the future, recent discoveries across the continent have added to Africa's resource base. For example, there's the Kavango Basin in Namibia, which is promising to produce about 120 billion barrels of oil. There's also discoveries in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire by ENI, which are looking to bring a total of about 2.7 billion barrels. What you find is that there'll be a lot of shifts in terms of the fiscal policies from these governments, in terms of who can explore gas, what incentives exist, what policies are put in place to make it a more favorable market for both local and international oil and gas industry participants. The oil and gas industry on the continent is still regarded as important, regardless of the challenges that come with the sector. It requires a balanced approach in terms of pursuing the opportunities, with a lot of things to consider, particularly the economic benefits, the environmental impact, the regulatory clarity required within the sector, and also the market dynamics of the sector. It also requires a lot of collaboration from the key stakeholders, particularly the public and the private stakeholders, and also just civil society and academia providing more information on the benefits of the sector. That's it from us on Africa's upstream oil and gas industry. Thank you all for taking the time to listen. To get more information on the work that we do, please visit our website at www.birguid.co.za. Thank you again.